Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. In this video we're going to be enabling client-side Hyper-V inside of Windows. And as always, remember, if you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and comments are always welcome. Thank you so much. Let's dive in. All right, everybody, here we are on my Windows desktop. So what we're going to do, a couple different ways that we could get Hyper-V running here on the client so that you can start practicing with your own virtual machines. You could, down here in the search field, the global search field here, you could just type Hyper or something close to that for me. And you can see here, if let me zoom in and show you, you can see that if Hyper-V was installed, you'd have a Hyper-V manager icon here, or it takes you right to the location that I'm going to take you to see this, right? And we could go the short version. Another way that you could do this, you could right click down here on your start icon and you could choose System, and about fifth down from the top. And then from System here, this takes you to the system information, right? About, just click System to follow the breadcrumb trail. And if we scroll down here, you're going to see that in the list here, this allows me the ability down here at the bottom of the list to choose optional features, right? We could do it that way. When we take use optional features here, you would think, right, that it would be right here, add optional feature, but I'll show you here. If we choose those features, you're going to notice that one thing that isn't in the list is Hyper-V. So for instance, if I just make it easier, just type Hyper, right? No results found. So that's nice that they give us optional features, but they don't let us install it with the new interface. So what you want here is you want to scroll all the way down to the bottom here. And there's more features. Now, the reason I go through this is because if you all are out there are studying maybe for an A+ exam or a Microsoft exam, they might want you to know these extra clicks just to prove that you've been around the operating system. So now I'll choose more features, and the more features option comes up here. Now, let me show you the other way that would have been a lot easier. Let me choose cancel to this, and just to help you out with the operating system here. I'm going to go ahead and just type Hyper again, and notice this little option comes up here in our start menu, right? And here it takes us right back to the same location, and then this is where we can enable Hyper-V. Now we're going to do this, it's fairly straightforward, right? All we're going to do is put a check mark in the upper Hyper-V folder there, and that's going to turn on, essentially install the management tools in the platform itself, which is what we need. But I do want to show you potentially a third way, right, that you could do this. I'm going to right click on our start icon, and I'm going to choose Terminal Admin. And we'll go ahead and say yes to the UAC here, and that brings me into a PowerShell prompt, right? And then from the PowerShell prompt, this gives me the ability, if I wanted, I could essentially type a commandlet in here, and I could install Hyper-V that way. So you can see the Enable-WindowsOptionalFeature space -online space -FeatureName, and in this case Microsoft -Hyper-V. Make sure you put the all in there so it installs the both the platform itself as well as the management tools that you need. I'm going to go ahead and close that down because we've taken the long journey to get here. We'll go ahead and we'll just choose OK to this, and it's going to take a second. It's going to do an installation of these files, and you'll see it's searching for it, applying the changes here, and we should get a request to reboot. So I'm going to go ahead and restart, and hopefully you all get to see the restart here too. Got a couple of things running on my machine here that are interrupting here. Let's not let software get in the way of success. So you can see what it's doing is it's making the updates here to the platform, installing Hyper-V. And depending on how fast your computer is, it could take, the same amount of time, or it could take, sooner. I know on one, I've got a ThinkPad here, and it's got I think it's like maybe a 11th or 12th gen i7 Intel processor on it. So, it works pretty good. I know I've had other computers that are on a little bit more modern hardware that I've helped provision, and this literally just takes like seconds. So you can see here, what you can't see right now is that my computer's actually rebooting here, and what we should see is that we get the ability to log back into the machine. And then from here, what I want to be able to do is I want to go ahead and review. So there's my computer still. Notice we're almost there. Wait for it. You know, just kind of like fishing. Be patient, right? Although fishing would be probably a little bit more fun. All right, I'm going to go ahead and authenticate. That'll get us back to our desktop. And now, once we are there, we're going to type Hyper-V in the search engine down here, the little instant search field here. And notice that it's telling me, hey, you want to turn on Hyper-V on or off? Well, it's actually in here, but let's go ahead and just verify. We'll type Hyper-V, and there we go. And there, now we have our Hyper-V manager, and depending on if you've had this installed or not, if you've had it installed, then you're probably going to see what I see here, which is some existing machines, because it's looking for a default location, right, for those virtual machines. And I already have some virtual machines installed because, you know, I'm constantly testing stuff and producing content. But this is the Hyper-V manager. Right, and we could do some configuration of the Hyper-V, your server as well too. Just coming over here, and you can select Hyper-V settings. When we select this, this gives us the ability to do a variety of different configurations, including pointing it to the default location where you want your VHD files, and pointing it to the location where you actually want the virtual machine files themselves. And that's why it instantly picked up those virtual machines that I have here in the background, because it was looking at that spot right there. So if you already have existing machines, and one of the great things is it will know by default where to look. If you want to implement storage, configure storage migrations, you can. Again, the enhanced session mode policy, and you can, just check off a few different things here. What do you want the mouse release key to be as well? Might come in handy. And there you have it, right? So that's installing Hyper-V. Really easy to do. I'm going to make some videos here, and what we'll do is we'll look in a little bit more to some of these settings here. The virtual switch manager, right? I'll show you how to create a virtual switch and attach a virtual machine to it. It's about time for me to get rid of some of these virtual machines. Who knows how bad I've messed them up or whatever. And then I'm going to show you how to create a virtual machine and attach it to a network, right? So we've got a lot more to come. I just wanted this to be a very easy way that you could see that if you have Windows Pro editions or beyond, but the Windows Pro editions allow you the ability to have client-side Hyper-V, which is a Type 1 hypervisor, just like you would see in the server side. So it gives you the ability to start getting used to the interface if you're just getting into the industry. All right, everybody, thank you so much for taking the time and joining me. Remember, if you like what you see, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. Click the notification button as well so that you will be aware when new lessons become available. And like I said about the comments are always welcome. And if you've got a piece of technology or content that you'd like to see, leave it in those comments below likewise too. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining me.